woman was preparing food deep in the jungle when her husband, holding a thick stick, crept up behind her without a sound. Just as he was about to strike, a sudden bird call echoed through the trees. Startled, the wife turned around quickly to check what it was. The husband froze mid-motion, terrified of being caught. Luckily for him, she didn't notice anything out of the ordinary. He took a deep breath, steadied himself, and swung the club straight at her head with all his might, only to instantly regret it the moment it connected. Dropping the stick in horror, he rushed over to find her unconscious. But before he could even process what he'd done, his foot hit a hidden trap. A rope snapped tight and yanked him upside down into the air. His scream of pain woke her right back up. As she came to, she looked up and saw him dangling above her, and everything suddenly made sense. No explanation from him was going to cut it. Without hesitation, she grabbed the fallen stick and prepared to teach him a lesson. But just then distant footsteps caught her ear. Suddenly remembering something, she gave him a sly knowing smile, then dropped the stick and bolted into the woods. Confused and hanging helplessly in the air, the man had no idea why she left him like that, until he looked up and saw a group of cannibals charging toward him. Panic set and he threshed wildly, desperate to escape. In the nick of time, he managed to grab a vine and swung himself to safety, just as the tribe arrived below. But things weren't looking so good for his wife. She'd been running for her life and accidentally stumbled near the cannibals' cave just when all hope seemed lost. A hand shot out from the shadows and pulled her into the dark. Terrified, she struggled, only to realize it was her husband who had saved her. Instead of thanking him, though, she went after him again with fury. Realizing she wasn't about to forgive him anytime soon, he took off running. She wasn't about to let him off the hook so easily, and gave chase. Eventually, both realized they needed to focus on survival first, saving their marital issues for later. Unfortunately, they didn't get far before falling into another trap. Darts laced with powerful drugs struck them, and everything went black. When they came to, they were deep inside the tribe's village. She was tied to a post as an offering to the fire god, while he was drugged and placed in a canoe as a sacrifice to the water spirits. The man snapped awake just in time. With every ounce of strength, he leaped and grabbed onto a nearby rock, narrowly escaping his watery fate. Determined to save his wife, he snuck back into the village. When no one was watching, he charged forward and knocked the tribal chief flat with one punch. Then he yanked the post free from the ground. The entire tribe stood frozen in shock. Seizing the moment, he scooped up the post and leapt off the cliff, with her still tied to it. As they plunged downward, all the bitter memories between them seemed to vanish into thin air. They hit the water hard but quickly surfaced, much to the fury of the angry cannibals. Spheres flew through the air, but the man was quick enough to use the wooden post as a shield with the help of a spear he'd caught midair. He sliced the ropes, binding them, and finally reached the beach. There they found their old canoe floating nearby, the very one that had gone over the waterfall earlier. Without another word, they climbed aboard and rowed away together, leaving the chaos and maybe each other behind.